Tensions are high here in the US as students get ready to go to the polls to cast their vote for their next set of people who take the seat as their next executives for the SRC.
It's Saturday, the 5th of August 2023. Is the third episode of Elections Roundup. Stay with us for the latest news, updates, and analysis on the 2023 SRC elections.
This is Election Center. Anyways, guys, welcome to the third episode of Election Roundup. Today, we'll be talking about a couple of stuff. But before that, Sandra, what do you have for our viewers?
Last week, Israel Johnson declared his intent to run for the position of the federal SRC president. And this week, we had Fadil Mohammed also declaring his intent to run for the position of the federal SRC.
So let me catch you on that. On Wednesday, Fadil Mohammed declared his intentions, and I would like to read his statement to our viewers. Dear students of US, I am Fadil Mohammed, a fifth-year student of this noble institution, studying Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery. This is my official declaration to run for the office of the federal SRC presidency in this year's election. This personal decision comes after years of accumulation of robust experience in the US student leadership domain, extensive consultations with student leaders, relevant stakeholders, and well-meaning colleague students. I strongly believe that the moment has come where the mouthpiece bestowed on the SRC is restored. The moment where SRC gets in touch with reality of the average US student's challenges. This is what we have stood for in years of experience, and this is what we stand for this year. It is time for our SRC to work for us. Let us believe and embrace it. Fadil is here. Fadil is here. Do you think Fadil is here? Is he really here? Is Fadil here right now?
Fadil is here.
Yeah.
He spoke about his experience working with students, being a student's leader. Do you think that is going to have an impact on the number of votes he's going to accrue? Do you think it is going to affect the number of votes?
Yeah, I think so, because I'm looking at the fact that he has held several positions in the past, and Local Nook's president is one of them. And he's talking about his years of experience, and his accumulation of experience in the leadership domain can have a very strong impact on the number of people who vote for him, because looking at what he has accomplished in the past, it can be a leverage for him going forward. People can choose him because they think that he is probably our best bet. Yes, taking a look at our various candidates and their profiles, what they've achieved in the past. So we're talking about Israel Johnson Whitman. So we had an interview with him last week, and we're playing that for our viewers shortly. But Johnson Israel Whitman is a pharmacy level 500 student who seeks to take the seat as the next federal SRC president.
I think he held the position of the SRC Chief Justice last year. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes it interesting now. So we know that Fadil Mohammed too is a level 500 medical student who also wants to take the seat as the next SRC president. And as Sandra said, Johnson took the seat. Johnson was former what?
Chief Justice.
And Fadil is former Nook's president. Wow. So what do you think what do you make of it? What do you make of it? Does this whole position they've assumed in the past have an influence on the turnout of the election and the results at large?
With their experience, I think it is going to give them some form of leverage. So it means the other candidates have to work really hard to prove to the students that even though those who do not have any experience when it comes to students' leadership, I think they really have to work hard to prove to the students that even though they do not have any experience, like they've not held any leadership positions, they can still do the work when they are given the mandate.
Let me cut you on that. Does that mean that someone who comes into the scene with not a lot of accolades on his profile is disadvantaged, looking at the fact that the people who have come out so far have occupied very important positions in the school?
I think it's a two-sided something. Some people pay attention to the positions they've held. Some people pay attention to the, as I said, the accolades. But then some people do not mind. Others believe that some other people believe that
Yes.
that even though
Somebody hasn't
someone
held
hasn't
a position
held any
before.
position, like they still have something to offer to the students populace. So I don't think that really gives them that much advantage over the others.
So if I'm understanding you right, what you mean is that it doesn't matter whether a person has really assumed any position in the past.
Yeah.
Innovations just can come to anybody at all. And if this is the time the person has decided to come out of his shell, then that person should be given the chance to vie for any position at all.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes it interesting. And we have the information reaching us is that two other people are yet to declare their intentions for the federal presidency. We have one guy who has been making flyers. He hasn't come out officially to declare his intentions, but you can see that from what you are seeing, he looks forward to vying for the federal SRC presidency. Frank Chati Bechuba. I don't know if you've heard of him. Last year, he was in the race to take the seat as the SRC president. Do you really think this time around he has a chance?
I can't really say. I can't say if he stands a chance, because this year is a set of different people who are also bringing on board different policies. So I think it's left to the students' populace to decide who they are going to vote for. I don't think he contesting in last year's election is going to give him any advantage over those who are contesting.
But then, don't you think that he being in the race last year and people knowing him, like let's say he went, I think he actually accrued a lot of people voting for him, just that he wasn't able to surpass the winning party. But he actually did very well coming close to Roger. Do you really think, don't you think that can actually affect the whole thing? He having one experience, too, having the numbers already, and having been through the process quite a couple of times, over more than once. I really think that can actually affect everything. I think that's going to play a very big role in who takes the seat as our next SRC president. One person is here to declare.
Okay.
I think a level 400 medical student.
I want to say something.
Yeah.
I think with Frank Chati, you were talking about the numbers. Mind you, some people have left school, and then we have people who have come to school this year, and those people don't know him.
Okay.
So I don't think he contesting
Again.
last year is going
Okay.
to give him like the numbers.
Okay, but don't you think he has the numbers when it comes to the continuing student? Talking about the freshers, I know that for a fact. He might not really have the numbers now, and he has to do a lot of work if he wants to get their votes this time around. But looking at the continuing student, he already knows us. He has come to us. He has talked to most of us. Don't you think that will really play a role in the whole election?
I don't think.
You don't really think so?
I don't think.
Yeah. So let me just add in this. Pius is here to declare his intentions to vie for president. I don't think most of us know him. He's like a 400 medical student who has been in the school for quite a very long time. He was here as a PA student, finished, and is now back as a medical student. He's been in the school for, if he's in 400 now, then probably for 8 years. So he has a lot of experience when it comes to these things. And he was also former Speaker of Parliament. So now the race has become interesting. You have 4 strong people who are set, who from what you are hearing are set to vie for the federal SRC presidency. Yes, so you are talking about all this, talking about how other factors affect the result in the elections. I think in it's been quite some time now, and we've not had such number of people vying for the SLC president position. It's been quite a long time. Last year we had just 2 people,
Yeah.
and this year you're having
Wow. 5.
estimated 4 or 5 people.
Hopefully.
What do you think that will do, or what impact do you think that will have on the results?
I think it is going to make the elections more competitive because the students are going to have so many options to choose from.
Yeah.
So it is going to make it very competitive and very interesting. So we look forward to this year's SRC election.
And mind you, last 2 weeks we were talking about the CI and the fact that the CI will only make somebody a winner if he gets more than 50.1%, 50 plus 1%.
Yeah.
And now there are 4 people vying for the same position. And do you think 50 plus 1 is possible? And from what I am seeing, these 4 people are not just ordinary 4 people that you don't know from anywhere. You have someone who contested from last year coming in. You have people who have assumed the various positions in the past coming in. Do you really think that will have an effect on how the elections really go about this time around?
The numbers.
Yeah, the numbers.
The numbers. I think this is the more the merrier.
The more the merrier.
The more the merrier. So
Yeah.
I don't know if the 50 plus 1
It's-
is really going to hold with the 4. I don't know. If
Let me just add this. If in the case where we don't get 50 plus 1, it means that the top 2 will have to go for a runoff. So another elections will be held for the top 2. In the case where there's no 50 plus 1, it'll be another runoff, and then we'll go for another elections. So it means that until we get 50 plus 1, according to our CI, we can't choose
winner.
a winner. Yes. So looking at these things, we were talking about this here the last time. We were talking about how some things ought to be changed and all this. These are something that people we were talking about the last time that should be taking a look at, because some elections just, I don't know, like for instance, there's 4 very able people where we can get 50 plus 1. Do you think it is appropriate to go in that direction? And the amount of money you have to spend going for runoffs after runoffs after runoffs, because it can actually happen. It's a possibility that a year you have more than 2 runoffs. Yeah. It's possible. It's possible. So I don't know if the school will consider that or the parliament will consider that, but I think that we should take a critical look at that. Okay. Yeah, talking about
let me
yeah, okay.
But with the numbers, the 4
yeah.
The 4 that we are assuming they are going to contest. I think there's going to be vetting, and then
okay.
Some people are going to be.
That's the worst case scenario.
Maybe,
the worst case scenario is some people will just get out, but
disqualified. So I think we are probably going to get our 50 plus 1.
Okay, that looks interesting. But in the case where that's the worst possible scenario. In the case where the worst doesn't happen, and now we get all 4 people contesting, that means that I don't know what's the EC has in plan for this, but I think this year's elections is going to be very, very interesting. 4 people. Yes, and I'm taking a look at the various schools they are coming from and how it affects the elections. So we have Johnson Hazel Whitman coming from the School of Pharmacy. This has been a very long time since somebody from the School of Pharmacy. I don't think has someone ever contested from the School of Pharmacy.
I don't think
you've heard anything of that sort.
Oh,
okay. So it means that Johnson has become the first person to contest for the Federal SLC presidency from the pharmacy department. Yes, and we have Fado Mohammed, coming from the medical school. We have Frank Chatty, who is going to, you have seen his flyers already, and we're looking forward to him making an official declaration. Also coming from the School of Medicine. We have Pius also coming from the School of Medicine, who is here to make his declaration. Do you think, what does that really mean now? School of Medicine, you have 3 people from the School of Medicine, 1 person from the School of Pharmacy. How do you say it? How do you see?
It's looking like the School of Pharmacy, the whole of the School of Pharmacy is going to rally behind Isiel Johnson. That's what I think.
Is that what it really means?
That's what I think.
That's what you think.
And
okay.
The School of Medicine is going to have divided
Divided
because they
votes.
have
Three different people.
Three different people coming from.
So from what you're saying, if I understand you correctly, then you're saying Johnson has an upper hand when it comes to
not
the support of his members.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That looks interesting. So, Mr. Johnson, you have Sandra is saying that you have a fair chance of winning this year's election, looking at where you are coming from, your school you are coming from, and so you have School of Medicine. You have 5 schools in the school. Is it 5? So 6. You have School of Medicine.
Yeah.
You have School of Pharmacy. You have School of Allied Health Sciences (SAS). You have SUNAM, School of Nursing and Midwifery. School of Public Health, that is in Hohoe.
Yeah.
And you have School of Basic Biomedical Sciences.
And the School of Sports and Exercise Medicine, or
is it really a school?
Yeah.
It's a school, so now 7.
Yeah.
So now 7. Yes. So in the past we've heard that if somebody comes from SUNAM, we've heard that if somebody wins SUNAM over, if you're able to get a lot of votes from SUNAM, then you're probably the winner of the election, because SUNAM there are many.
Yeah, the number is large.
Is that really true? Because I am thinking, because last year, I think in the previous years, somebody contested who was from SUNAM, who didn't win the elections. At the beginning, it looked as if he would win the election because he was from SUNAM and people would vote for him. But when it ended, he didn't win the elections.
So this is to say that where you are coming from doesn't matter.
Where you are coming from doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter.
Are you contradicting yourself?
No,
because you said
no. This is like I didn't say Johnson necessarily has all the votes.
Oh, okay.
School of Pharmacy.
So what did you really mean? I don't get it. I think some of our viewers still don't get it. What did you really mean?
He's coming from there, like he's the only one contesting from there.
Yeah.
The probability that majority of the School of Pharmacy is going to rally behind him is very high.
Okay.
But then doesn't necessarily mean that they are all going to support him. Of course, we all have different perspectives, different ideologies. So people are definitely, some people are not going to support his
agenda.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes. So that looks interesting now. So now we have other people too. I don't know if anybody else will join in the race. Having the 4 people we think are going to vie. Do you think somebody else can come from nowhere and join the race to vie for this? Okay, then that makes it 4 now. Yes. We'll be talking about a couple of things next week, but I want us to actually talk about the fact that you have to get 50 plus 1 agenda. Looking at the way things are looking now. So in the past, we've had several elections where there has been court issues and all those stuff. And this year, we're looking forward to having an election that has probably no court issue. And now these people having been for and they of being very able under a rule that says that you have to get 50 plus 1. Do you really think this election will be free from court issues or runoffs?
For the runoffs, I think the probability
it looks possible.
It looks possible,
Okay.
but for the court cases, I don't think. I can't really say because we don't know what is going to happen. Like we don't know.
Okay. Yeah. So that brings us to the end of this week's edition of Election Roundup. It was nice having you on the show. We're bringing you next week, same time, all the latest news, update, information, gist, and everything concerning the 2023 US SLC elections. This place is your 911 for all your informations on the elections this year.
Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you next week, same time, same place.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a nice evening.